Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Beads, Boxes, and Beyond, and I'm so glad you joined me again today. We're having some rain outside, so if you happen to hear a little thunder in the background, it's just the weather going on outside down here in Florida. It's the start of the rainy season, so every afternoon you can kind of set your clock by it. And we'll have afternoon showers, so hopefully it won't be too bad. I'm in a room that has a skylight, so sometimes when it starts raining really hard, it'll drown out a lot. So if that's the case, I'll just restart the video when it quits raining really hard. So let's hopefully get through this, okay? Today I have my sci-fi journal. This is the third sci-fi journal that I have made. It is a very popular subject matter for journals. It's quite full already. I have quite a bit of ephemera in here, and it will be priced appropriately too. The more ephemera that I put in my journals, the higher the price goes. The ephemera that I put in my journals is to help, what's the word I'm trying to find? Inspire a writer. So, or maybe it's a subject matter that it's near and dear to them, and they really love it. So I enjoy searching for ephemera, and I like to make my journals into themes, and this is a very popular subject, and it's one that I enjoy doing also. So the ephemera in here, there is some digital items that I found on the internet, but I really like to try and go for some authentic stuff. So it's a good mix. It's hard to find authentic ephemera out at the antique stores, and they're not wanting an arm and a leg for it. So with that all said, I'm going to get going here. We got a hard front and a hard back cover. Both of them have a sci-fi design on it. This is actually from a cover of an old magazine. And I'm trying to see if there's, 1949 is the date on it. It has a soft leather spine, and I've got brads along both the back and the front here. But it's a soft leather spine, which you guys know that's my specialty. I like to do. There's no anything hard in there, so when you open the book, it lays flat, and you can write on both the left and right side, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. It enables you to be able to write in the book. My journals are all functional pieces, and I hope that the people that do get them actually use them and write in them. That's the whole purpose for me to do these. But if you don't, that's fine. But my whole reason for doing these journals is to inspire and get enjoyment for the writer. So, ephemera. When you open it up, that's the first thing you see is some ephemera. And in here I actually have my business card. But I have little things like this. Now this was printed off online, and I like to make it lined so people can use it to jot notes on, or if you want to use this as a bookmark and keep notes about chapters that you're in or anything like that. Okay, that's what I like. I bought a bunch of postcards online. I can't remember the name of the postcard, Zippy, I'm thinking. But they had a whole bunch of sci-fi-ish kind of cards that you could purchase, and so that's what that is. And so is this one. Let's see. Zazzle. I got them through Zazzle. That's it, Zippy. Oh my gosh, Zippy sounds like a gas station. Zazzle. Zazzle is the company that I purchased a lot of these postcards from, and they're just reproductions from movie posters and magazine covers and things like that. And we have this little vellum pocket in here that I got off of a greeting card. It had a bunch of saying on it, and I cut that off, but I liked it because it was, stars and just really cool. Spacey kind of looking thing. And so we open it up here, and we have a full page. This is, I got this, I think, out of a magazine. It's a reproduction of an old sci-fi magazine cover. And I just put it in there. Thought it was a nice spread on that page. And then over here, we have a little tuck spot here, and it has just a very old drawing of some people studying the skies. And I think it even says, oh, I can't see what it says. It's so tiny. But it's in this little pocket. This is an actual stamp right here, a Russian type stamp. I found those at the antique store. And here we have a reproduction of a magazine cover. That's one of Zazzle's. This I found online. I just thought it was really cute. It's, you know, paper dolls, but I use it for a card for you to write on. And then we have just the plain papers, and every once in a while I'll put little pieces on some of the papers, but it's just a variety of coffee stained papers. And here we have a little pull out. Let me go back there. Okay. With some ledger paper for you to write on. And then we come to another section that holds your ephemera. And I have a couple of tags that I made into pockets. And so in here we have just this little tiny picture. And I thought that was cool too. All has to do with flying. That tucks right in there. And then behind this tag, we have a reproduction here. And I've lined that for you to be able to take notes on. This is a reproduction of a magazine cover. And then here we have an actual ad for old aviation ad, Aeronautical University in Chicago. And up here we have, this is, our family took a trip to the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. If you guys are in the Appalachian area ever, if you're traveling through, I highly, highly recommend you to stop at the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. My kids are space nuts, and we stopped there. And it was a family trip we did when we were kids, but we stopped there one time, and my kids loved it. And I'm saying kids that were like middle school, high school kids, okay? There's another one of those old-time looking things. This one says, oh, I can't even see what it, Mars. It says Mars on there. They're studying Mars. But anyways, the observatory, it's really neat. It's in this remote area of West Virginia. And they have these huge, huge dish telescopes that are out there. And they will put you on a little tour bus, and you can go through and get up real close to these things. Great opportunity to open the eyes to children and young kids for the space and loving of space and engineering and discovery. And so I highly, highly recommend it. And it's not just for kids. I mean, I've been there 3 times. 3 times. And every time I go, I get so much enjoyment out of it. I just love it. So if you're a space nut, definitely a stop on your list of things to go see and do. Here's a tuck spot, and it's an old ad for aviation. I just put a picture of the sun back there. This is a piece of artwork that is online, and I printed it off and put lines on it, and that just tucks in here. And then here's a postcard that I actually got at NASA. They still sell some of these very old-timey postcards in their gift shops. And so been to Cape Canaveral numerous times. And every time I go, I pick up something, or 2 or 3. This came from a calendar. It's somebody's painting or rendition of the moon, and I just really liked it in there. I have a reproduction newspaper print. Soviets orbit man and recovers him. Space pioneer reports, I feel well. Sent message while circulating the Earth. This is one of those books that's I found, and it wasn't a thrift store. I think it was an antique store. And it's just all the top news headlines, front pages of papers. And I really like those because they work easily by tucking in places like this in your journals. And then this is just, came from the same calendar that the moon came from. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's just really cool there. Then we have another section of our paper. This is original, this is very vintage, of this ledger paper. And somewhere I have the date. I want to say it's like in the 40s. Yeah, this section doesn't have the date on it. But when I come across it, maybe I'll see if we can find one. But it's like really super long. So, you know, this is like one page of the journal. Let's note that doesn't have the date on either. Well, anyways, it's just one big page, and I just added in here for breaking up a little bit on the papers. All my pages are sewn into the spine, or a spine, so they're really secure. And that's another section of just writing surface there. Then we have a pocket, and I made this pocket. It's a small article that was in an old magazine. One man operates One man operates nerve center to control air traffic. This has to do with flight, and just thought it would be appropriate in here because a lot of flying and Air Force and all tends to be space exploration too. This is another one of the postcards that I picked up at Cape Canaveral when we were viewing and touring some of the old parts of NASA that they still have for you to walk through. You can walk through and touch and play with all the buttons on these and actually look out the window the way it used to be. Air Force Space and Missile Museum. So if you get up to Cape Canaveral, check that out. Here we have some more ephemera tuck spot, and I have an old Unexplored World Sci-Fi cover here. A little bit of artwork back there. Just love this so much. Just really cool. I really like that. Very sci-fi-ish. And of course, we can't, upside down, we can't have a sci-fi journal without without the Enterprise, right? Okay. This is a strip here from that calendar, again. And I just made two little tuck spots for it. We have a couple of old ads that I just cut out and put on paper. And this is an explorer of some sort that I put in here. He was with those other pictures like this. This one is Jupiter. And I don't know if you can see very well what they're really doing, but it's like they're all explorers and studying space and all. And then another ad, of course, just, you know, little thing to tuck in there. Oh, I thought they was stuck together. So then I have some cascading pages here to add a little bit more writing surface. It's made to look like a clipboard, but it's not. Isn't that kind of cool? And then we go on here. We have some more writing surfaces. And I've got a tuck spot here, and I have in here a capsule that found a picture of. And here we have, this is a patent for the space shuttle. And I just printed that off. That was from online. And we got more writing paper, writing surface, different sizes, and some more ephemera. We have a tagged pocket here. This is a tag, and it just has a radio antenna on there. Just something kind of cool from an old magazine. And this is a reproduction that I found online, and I just backed it up so you can write on it. You know, backed it up with cardstock. And then this is another one of Zazzle's postcards that I picked up that I really liked. And that goes in there. And this is, again, part of that calendar I had. The moon is a cold, lonely place where a dark, dark side no one ever sees. So I just love that. I love the person's work. Can't remember the artist's name, but I just love the work that they do in that calendar. I've had that calendar for years. I mean, it's like a 1980-some calendar, and I never got rid of it because I love the artwork in it, and I wanted to reuse it somehow. So, of course, it's in the journal. We have a couple of American stamps, and one has Progress in Electronics, and like I said, I look for these kind of themes for things. We have the phases of the moon and rotating around the sun, or no, that's the earth. I'm so sorry. The moon. It's the earth. And I backed it up for writing. Oh, golly, I gotta wake up here. Here's another one of those pages from that book that does, you know, headlines of front pages. Columbia returns, shuttle era opens. And I thought that worked really well in here. Kind of neat. This was dated 1981. 1981. And so we got our last section here of just some writing surface, and then I have my stamp and signature in the back of the book, and that's it. So this is just a real quick flip through. So anybody who's interested, when you go to my Etsy shop, they limit you on the amount of pictures you can post. And sometimes it's just not enough. So that's why I have my YouTube channel, one of the reasons. So that way I can do a quick flip through and you guys can actually see the size of it, how the papers sound, how everything works, you know, than just the still pictures. So head on over to my Etsy shop if you're interested. I'm going to try and get this posted. I've been having some really uploading problems with my computer, but I'm hoping to get this listed too. And that's about it. I'm glad you stopped in. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram, and you can follow me on Twitter. I'll leave all of those connections in my description below if you're interested. I would love to get comments from you. If you're a sci-fi nut, give me some ideas. If you're if you like journaling and you want to see some other books that might inspire you, that doesn't have to be sci-fi, but any kind of theme or subject matter, I'd love to hear from you. That's what inspires me, is hearing what you guys like and what you would like to see out there. So until then, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll talk to you later. Let's hope that this rain comes and goes real quick. I miss my sunshine. All right, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.